In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, Party General Secretary sent TED greetings to fellow citizens and soldiers. And border guards work tirelessly through TED to ensure national security. And in our world news, Hamas responds to TRUCE proposal generally positive.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Nguyen with the top stories. Now, on the occasion of Lunar New Year 2024, Party General Secretary Nguyen Trong offered incense to commemorate President Ho Chi Minh at house number 67 in the Presidential Palace, President Ho Chi Minh's monument area. Lê Minh Hưng, Party Central Committee Secretary and Chief of the Party Central Committee Office, also attended the event. House number 67 is a place where President Ho Chi Minh passed away, and it carefully preserves many of his possessions. President Ho Chi Minh was a great leader of Vietnam who dedicated his entire life to the glorious revolutionary cause of the Vietnamese party, country, and people. His legacy, along with the Central Party's wise leadership and the unity of the country, serve as the foundation for the entire party, people, and army to continue building a prosperous, civilized, and heroic Vietnam in the new year. Party General Secretary Nguyen Trong chaired a get-together on Wednesday and extended Lunar New Year wishes to all veteran revolutionaries, leaders, former leaders of the party and state, and the Vietnam Fatherland Front, as well as the whole people, soldiers, and overseas Vietnamese. The party chief emphasized the collective efforts and unity that have led to significant achievements across various sectors. He also highlighted the key task for 2024, which is a great year of great importance in implementing the resolutions of the 13th Party Congress and the 5-year socio-economic development plan for 2021 to 2025. This year also marks progress towards the 14th Party Congress with renewed confidence, momentum, and motivation. Now, in the first month of this year, domestic investors registered over 125,000 new securities trading accounts. This marks a threefold increase compared to December last year. The majority of these accounts are owned by individual investors, with only a small portion belonging to institutional investors. This represents the highest number of new accounts recorded in the past 4 months. By the end of January, domestic investors have opened more than 7 million accounts, while foreign investors only opened 187 accounts in the same month. The Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, or VASEP, has sent an official dispatch to the Prime Minister, ministries, and branches recommending various solutions to strengthen and enhance the competitiveness of the seafood industry. One notable recommendation is the abolition of quotas for Vietnamese shrimp exported to South Korea. Currently, Vietnamese shrimp face a major obstacle in the South Korean market due to import quotas imposed under the Vietnam-Korea Free Trade Agreement, or VKFTA. South Korea only allows imports of Vietnamese shrimp within a yearly quota of 15,000 tons, while Vietnam's shrimp exports to this market have exceeded the tax-free quota. South Korean importers incur significant costs to obtain import quotas, which account for 14 to 16% of the shipment value, driving up the price of Vietnamese shrimp in this market. As a result, Vietnamese shrimp face tougher competition compared to shrimp from other countries. According to experts, 2023 was a year of innovative thinking and growth model transformation in agriculture. The total export turnover of agriculture, forestry, and fisheries maintained a buoyant level, exceeding $53 billion, with the highest trade surplus ever at over $12 billion, an increase of more than 43%. This is considered a positive growth rate and a significant kickstart for this year's whole sector.
After a gloomy year, seafood exports reached $730 million in January. It is an increase of more than 60% over the same period, with a notable increase in the trade of key products, including raw fish and shrimps. Many markets have shown increasing demand.
Inventories in major markets such as China, the EU, and the US will be depleted in the first half of the year. From the second quarter, export prices will gradually recover, and the export of seafood products will certainly bounce back.
Vietnamese rice exporters have gained access to many major markets. The prices are still high. South Korea has granted Vietnamese exporters a trading quota of more than 55,000 tons of rice. 7 Vietnamese businesses won a bid to supply 300,000 tons of rice to the Indonesian market. This accounts for nearly half of the imported rice in Indonesia this year.
Indonesia does not have many quality rice varieties. Vietnam needs to improve the quality of exported rice. It is also necessary to pay attention to promoting other rice products, such as dried vermicelli and rice paper rolls.
Along with maintaining traditional markets, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development also aims at gaining access to the Middle East and Africa.
Trade promotion is still a crucial marketing method. All businesses must move towards a green and circular economy and reduce emissions according to global trends.
Experts believe the sector should improve supply and demand forecasting and market information, connect producers with consumers, and ensure they benefit from free trade agreements to restructure the export market.
Lạng Province is strengthening inspections at border gate areas to ensure stricter control over the safety of agricultural products. This measure aims to prevent the spread of both traditional and foreign diseases. Fruits and agricultural products mainly pass through Tân Thanh and Hữu Nghị border gates. Tân Thanh in particular serves as the primary gateway for exporting agricultural products from the southern provinces to the Chinese market. The human resources at this border gate have been consolidated to effectively control the importation of agricultural products and evaluate label accuracy, growing regions, and pest control measures. The objective is to mitigate risk and minimize economic losses. Fruits and vegetables are highly sought after products during this year's Tet holiday, second only to flowers. Most areas across the country have reported securing an abundant supply of these products. The Central Highlands in particular have proactively increased production and improved product quality to meet the growing demand.
This farmer has reduced a significant portion of his seasonal crop and reinvested it in a higher demand product category. This shift is in response to consumers' increasing scrutiny of their consumption habits. As a result, the farmer now focuses on producing clean, chemical-free vegetables at affordable prices.
I don't use chemical herbicides and pesticides. Instead, I use organic fertilizers. If we use chemical fertilizers, our products will lose their appeal to customers, and prices will drop. Our prices are determined by us, regardless of market developments.
To ensure food safety, local authorities in the Central Highlands have been implementing comprehensive solutions. The Market Management Department, in coordination with interdisciplinary agencies, inspects all food producers and supermarkets in the local supply chain. Any violations are dealt with strictly to ensure a safe supply of agricultural products for consumption.
We're going to strengthen inspection work before, during, and after this Tet holiday, rigorously handling items of unknown origin and counterfeit goods. The purpose is to ensure a stable market and consumer health.
To prevent triggering a price fever, businesses and supermarkets in Dak Lak Province have committed to maintaining the prices of their consumer items at regular, everyday levels.
We have worked with suppliers and delivery companies to ensure an adequate supply of goods. We have also partnered with the Ministry of Industry and Trade in its price stabilization program to prevent price hikes during Tet.
People in the Central Highlands can rest assured that they will have a bountiful Tet celebration, as there will be an abundance of vegetables available at stable prices.
Now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate of today, February 7th. Coming up next on VTV News. Border guards work tirelessly through TED to ensure national security. And the rebirth of Narcissus arrangement, a graceful art during TED holiday. You're watching VTV News Live. The Hà Tĩnh Provincial Youth Union and Vietnam Youth Federation have presented gifts to workers and students in difficult circumstances. The Zero Dome Buses program was aimed at helping them return to their hometowns to celebrate the Lunar New Year, or TED. The program gave free bus tickets to more than 500 workers and students. The Zero Dome buses have safely taken the workers and students back to the Kỳ Anh district. The local organizing board also gave gifts worth 500,000 Vietnam dong, or $21 to each of the workers and students before they reunited with their families to celebrate TED. TED is a time for family members to gather and celebrate this special holiday together. However, at the nation's borders, many officers and soldiers are still working day and night to fulfill their duties, protect national sovereignty, and ensure that people can welcome TED happily.
Soldier Nguyen has been assigned to stay on duty with his team. This is his first time celebrating TED away from home.
This year, with my comrades, I'm dedicated to protecting the national borders. Although I really miss my home and friends, I'm focused on doing our duty well.
Đắk Nông shares a border of nearly 140 kilometers with Mondulkiri province in Cambodia. In the days leading up to TED, Đắk Nông border guards will be on duty 24/7. They will increase patrols and close off trails and openings along the border.
Our patrols primarily cover dense forests and hills. Also, dealing with different criminals in the border region is tough, but we are determined to protect and stop unauthorized entry and smuggling.
After each patrol, officers and soldiers refresh the guard posts by replacing the national flag and redecorating them. Locally grown vegetables and food items are given to the military as gestures of support and encouragement. This not only boosts the morale of the border guards in protecting the country's sovereignty, but also demonstrates the unity between the military and the border community.
After spending months at sea, fishermen in Kiên Giang province are returning home with a good catch just in time for the Lunar New Year. Starting from around the 20th of the 12th lunar month, Tak Kậu fishing port witnesses the arrival of about 1,500 fishing boats every day. This year, there has been a 10% decrease in arrivals compared to last year. However, there has been an increase in the amount of seafood compared to previous months. While some large boats continue to fish far offshore, many smaller boats are hurrying back to shore to join the festivities. Despite not making huge profits, fishermen are happy to end the year on a successful note and eagerly look forward to celebrating TED with their families. As TED approaches, 4th Regional Command ships with TED gifts have landed in the Trường Sa Island district of Khánh Hòa province. Spring has come to naval personnel and people on the most remote islands of Vietnam. In the middle of the vast ocean, locals and the military welcomed TED early with joy and warmth of the camaraderie and the love between naval staff and locals.
These days, the archipelago's communes and towns are buzzing with a TED atmosphere. Naval Command on West Reef Island organized a chung cake wrapping contest for their personnel and local households. On Truong Sa Island, the joy comes early with zone leaves and sticky rice.
I feel very excited to celebrate Tet away from home. I'm excited to make Chung cakes with my comrades. A joyful atmosphere can be felt everywhere.
Not only do they help people fix up their houses to celebrate Tet, but the commanders and ranks also visit local people, encourage them, exchange well wishes, and present gifts.
The island soldiers and commanders take care of us. They've come to every family to offer wishes for a happy new year. They gave us gifts. It was fun.
We welcome Tet as one, as we are members of an extended family. This is the most important thing we aim for in this Tet holiday.
Interesting cultural activities have been held on the islands, bringing joy and excitement to those guarding our homeland's peace.
I feel honored and proud to keep the peace on the front lines of the fatherland so that our people can safely celebrate Tet.
A traditional Tet is filled with joyful moments. It kickstarts a new year for the Truong Sa Archipelago's community and military. Let the joys of remote islands blend with the joy of welcoming the spring for us all.
The trade union in Ho Chi Minh City has allocated more than $15.5 million to provide care for 500,000 union members, workers, and children in challenging circumstances during Tet. Of this amount, $14.7 million comes from the support budget, while over $650,000 has been mobilized from other sources. Despite the challenges faced by many businesses during this year's Tet holiday, they are still collaborating with trade unions at all levels to organize care activities for their workers. During Tet in the United States, many Vietnamese people gather at temples to prepare for the celebrations. These temples serve as hubs for the Vietnamese community, preserving and sharing their traditional culture. Let's join a VTV reporter to see how one temple in the U.S. capital region is getting ready for Tet.
Vietnamese people of all ages come together at Đạo Viên Temple, a Vietnamese temple in Maryland near the capital of the United States. They dress in their best clothes and gather at the temple to celebrate Tet. Golden apricot blossoms are hung on the branches of trees just outside the temple, adding to the joyful atmosphere, even if they are artificials. The temple monks are currently busy preparing 2024 red envelopes filled with lovely gifts to give to visitors as blessings for the new year, wishing everyone good luck, health, and prosperity.
We haven't really had a lot of celebrations around here until this temple came around, so it's cool to see everyone come together and a lot of Vietnamese culture. So yeah.
Many Vietnamese students in the U.S. also choose to visit temples to welcome the new spring and alleviate their homesickness.
People gather here to decorate for Tet. We also have Chung cake, which makes international students like me feel at home.
In the U.S., hundreds of Vietnamese temples have been built. Despite their varying size, they all contribute to the preservation and promotion of Vietnamese traditional culture, especially during Tet.
While many people enjoy the delicacy of peach blossom or apricot blossoms for their Tet holiday leisure, some have eagerly anticipated an exquisite flower to blossom, the narcissus. This traditional floral art form has seen a remarkable resurgence of arrangement practice, particularly among the younger generation. As Tet approaches, amidst the frenetic preparation, let us take a moment to enjoy the elegant world of narcissus flower arrangement.
Flowers lean gracefully, resembling a young woman. Elegantly curled leaves. A pure white, clean bulb. Waterfall-like white roots. And a uniquely winding shape. A beautiful bowl of narcissus must meet all 5 criteria: flower, leaf, bulb, root, and shape. For ancient Hanoians, narcissus symbolized elegance and refinement, and it was a special flower for the Tet holiday.
The French have preserved many images of narcissus from the early 20th century, specifically between the years 1920 and 1925. Older generations saw it as the flower of spring.
Arranging narcissus requires patience, meticulous care, and a deep understanding of the flower's nature. It involves knowing which parts to emphasize, how to prevent the leaves from sticking out, and instead, curving them to accentuate the beauty of the flowers. However, this pastime has gained popularity among young people in recent times.
I fell in love with the flower at first sight because of its delightful scent. Ever since then, I have been cultivating narcissus for over 10 years. Last year, I gave narcissus flowers to 2 of my friends, and they loved them. As a result, I organized a workshop to teach them.
The Essence of Vietnamese Narcissus Group was established in 2015. At that time, there were only a few participants, so our goal was to introduce the traditional essence of ancient Hanoians to a wider audience. I also have a TikTok account because it's a platform for young people.
On the last days of the year, people throughout the country choose to sit back and take their time to enjoy the traditional way of arranging Tet flowers.
During Tet holiday, placing just 1 bowl of fully bloomed narcissus flowers in the living room can fill the entire space with its delightful aroma. In the past, people in Hanoi believed that if the first narcissus bloomed on New Year's Eve, the homeowner would have good luck and encounter positive things throughout the year.
Coming up next in our world news. Hamas response to truce proposal generally positive. And drones and AI team up to reforest Rio Hills. Now moving on to our world news. Key mediators Quotas announced on Tuesday that Hamas has responded positively to the latest plan for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages. Qatar's Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani described Hamas' reaction to the proposal brokered by Qatar, Egypt, and the United States as generally positive. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken emphasized the importance of the deal, stating that there is still much work to be done on his part. Earlier, Hamas insisted that any agreement must result in a complete ceasefire, while Israel stated that it will not permanently end hostilities until the militant group is eliminated. European Union or EU policymakers have agreed on new rules to promote local production of clean technologies, such as solar and wind power, in order to reduce emissions and combat climate change. Additionally, the European Commission or EC has recommended Europe's 2040 climate target and additional plans for transitioning to cleaner energy sources. According to the EC's recommendation, the EU should aim to reduce net greenhouse gas emissions by 90% by 2040, with an intermediate target of at least 55% reduction by 2030. This proposal represents a significant shift in energy usage in Europe, as the region is expected to decrease its consumption of fossil fuels for energy by approximately 80% by 2040. China has implemented several measures to ensure uninterrupted transportation during the ongoing Spring Festival travel rush. Severe snow and freezing rain in central and eastern provinces have disrupted road and railway transport, coinciding with millions of people beginning their Lunar New Year journeys. Numerous trains from Hubei, Yunnan, Guangdong, and Shanghai have been halted. To address these adverse weather conditions, Chinese railway authorities have planned to adjust train speeds and operations, as well as enhance real-time inspection of railroad switches. Additionally, workers have been deployed to remove snow at railway switches to maintain smooth railway tracks. Major stations have also increased the number of staff members at checkpoints to provide procedural guidance. Some stations have also stocked up on emergency rations to ensure the well-being of passengers. The city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, famed for its crowded beaches and lush surrounding hills, is now stepping up effort to boost local reforestation. The city has decided to test drones to reforest degraded urban green spaces as part of an environmental recovery project to mitigate the effects of the recent heat waves.
On the barren hills of Brazil's seaside city, this team is sending drones buzzing into the air to disperse seeds. The Green Initiative is a partnership between Rio's City Hall and French startup Morpho. The drones are being used to seed hard-to-reach areas that would be more difficult using traditional methods.
The idea came from two movements. First, the heat wave due to El Nino and climate change Rio de Janeiro and other cities go through, and the need to give a solid response to society on the measures to take.
A single drone is capable of dispersing 180 seed capsules per minute, or 100 times faster than utilizing human hands to spread seeds in a more traditional reforestation program. Sowing via drones and AI also eliminates the need for months of nurturing seedlings, as well as transporting them to the area designated for planting.
If a person plants seeds manually, he gets to plant an average of a hectare per day in accessible areas. With a drone, each drone gets to plant 50 hectares per day, as one person gets to drive 3 drones at the same time. So productivity of planting with a drone is very big. In addition, it can access areas that are risky for humans or difficult to access.
According to a statement from the local government, eligible areas in one of the most visited cities of the Americas are selected after an analysis of soil and native species and computers powered by artificial intelligence, then define the specific targets and number of seeds to be dropped.
Now before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.